Hello and welcome. My name is Maria Kleofkoff, and I'm the founding executive director of Healthy Mourning Revolution. I'm here to talk to you about our signature program, the Healthy Mourning Revolution live launch. In this program, we take 5 days, we do it quarterly, and in the 5 days, it's just 1 hour a day where you get to be with me live on a Zoom call. You don't need to worry about talking. You won't have to talk at all. The 5 days is just an opportunity for us to connect, and you can talk on the Zoom chat. But I'm the one who will be giving you some information about some really important key truths about the grief journey. You see, here's the challenge. Most of us have been given misinformation about grief our entire lives, and particularly once a loved one has died, we seem to be getting advice from everybody. Unfortunately, most often that's misinformation, and it becomes a disconnect because our grief is on the inside, and what people are telling us on the outside is a mismatch to what the grief journey is really all about. So we take 5 days, 1 hour a day, to really begin to unpack what is the grief journey really. We take day 1 and we look at the basic definitions of terms like grief and mourning and what is buried and carried grief and how is that impacting our grief journey. Every journey is completely unique. Your grief is completely unique. And we want to make sure that we start listening to our own wisdom from the inside about our grief journey. So it starts with us wondering what these terms mean and how do these terms help us. Day 2 is all about myth busting, where we're going to look at the various myths of grief that include words like closure, that include concepts like time heals this wound. And we're going to talk about why those are myths, why they are not true about our grief journey, and what really is true about our grief journey. By day 3, we're going to be talking about our wellness team and how do we bring together the people who really can be of support to us in our journey. Have you noticed that maybe you've asked a person or two who has not been able to be there for you, and it's a surprise? You're not alone in that. Most of us don't realize what we need to do in order to vet the people that we welcome into our world when we're in this very tender space. And so we're going to talk about what that means and what that looks like. Day 4 is a Q&A. It's an opportunity for you to ask me your questions. And we start culling those questions from the very first moment that you register. When you register, we're going to ask you to fill out a bit of a questionnaire. It's nothing too overwhelming. It's just so that we take kind of a temperature check of where you are right now, and so that I know who's in the room with me. And I speak very specifically so that I'm answering the questions that are coming up. The questions that you put in your questionnaire will show up on day 4, and the questions that you put in the chat box will show up on day 4. That is my opportunity to answer all of your questions. And if there are questions that remain that we don't quite finish in the 1 hour on day 4, that's okay. Then we'll expand into the weekend because I want to make sure that all of your questions are met. By day 5, we're actually ready to launch into our real grief journey. And what I mean by that is we now have a new and fresh understanding of what grief really is and what the grief journey is asking of us. With that, we'll find that we trust our grief journey and that we really can listen in and hear our grief speaking with us. We're going to learn how to do that in these 5 days together. We're going to discover that not only can we trust our grief journey, but that the grief journey is a healing journey. We're not about carrying our grief for the rest of our lives because that's a misuse of grief and it doesn't truly honor our loved one. It is not the way to continue the relationship with them because death ends a life. It does not end a relationship. But if we choose to stay stuck in our grief journey, then we're not choosing to find where the relationship is now. Grief is a journey from love, the love with your loved one in present time when they were physically present with you, to love, to discovering where that relationship is now. And we do that journey with love. So learning how to walk through our grief journey in a loving way is the key. That's the key that I'm offering you over these next 5 days together. Please take a look at the next time we're going to be doing live launch. If you can't wait for the next live launch, we also have a program that has the recordings from our most recent live launch. I hope to see you live because I want to see your face on our Zoom calls. In order to be a part of this class, then I invite you to click on the button below and register, and we will see you on the inside. Much love to you and much ease and grace to you on your grief journey. Namaste.